Welcome to Optimal Timelines. My name is Sean, and this is going to be your monthly Tarotscope readings for February 2024 for your North Node by sign and house. Now, if you're new to my channel, the reason I use the North Node in tarot readings as opposed to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant sign is that it's recognized in astrology that your North Node is your soul path. It's your North Star. It's how you're supposed to navigate through life, what you're supposed to learn and experience. So in readings, it's much more relevant and accurate than your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant sign. Now, remember, you're going to want to watch two videos. You're going to want to watch one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. So with that, I'm going to connect to the energies and then we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see and hear this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Aries. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope readings for the first half of February. And this is going to be for Aries and North Node in the first house. Okay, so the card that popped out for you is the Five of Pentacles. And what I got, the understanding I got when I saw this card is normally this is a card of, maybe going through rough times in some way, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, or something to that effect, but not recognizing that there's help out there. So, but for you, for this first half of February, I'm feeling like there's a slight variation of this. And what this is saying is that a lot of you have been feeling like maybe not either like supported in some ways, whether that be emotionally, mentally, physically in some way, or feeling like maybe like it's almost like a feeling of being left out in the cold, and possibly some of you maybe feel like some abandonment in some aspect of your life. And this could be in a romantic relationship, in a family relationship dynamic, friends, or even like a work situation, okay? The variation I was talking about here is this is saying that it's up to you to kind of be your own hero and your rescuer, as opposed to looking for someone else to pull you out. Okay, so let's get some more details. Your timeline cards are: you've got the King of Swords reversed, you've got the Four of Swords upright, and you've got the Ace of Swords. Okay, so a lot of swords going on, and as you know, if you're watching this video, swords rule all of the air signs, including your South Node in Libra. Okay, so there's a lot of air energy here, and what I'm thinking here is that there has to be this first 2 weeks. What has to happen is there has to be a reset in your mind in order to kind of set things right. And again, I feel like this is kind of like you need to come to the rescue of yourself. There are times in life, like the Bill Withers song, lean on me, that we need to lean on other people. And there's other times when we need to like be our own best friend, our own hero, and lift ourselves up. And with these swords, what this is saying is that you're not going to, there needs to be a change of thought processes going through this. And so I'm feeling like with this reversed King of Swords, it's like, okay, the thought process are going to change. What they're changing is I can't sit around waiting for other people to give me permission I don't need to wait around to ask for permission. I don't need to wait around for someone to save me, type of a thing. And then what's happening is that when this card is a card of like mental meditation. So the first 2 weeks of the month in February is you're going to have time to contemplate this. And I feel like a lot of you are going to get it. You're finally going to realize, okay, like I need to make this mental adjustment in order to kind of turn things or a situation or even your whole life around. And then what the other end of it here is the Ace of Swords, where you are having this kind of new, it's like a renewal mentally. You still have the ability to use that sharp mind that you have, that Libra mind, okay? But now it's like you have this kind of like adjustment in your mind. Now, the two advice cards that came up are the Five of Cups, and then you have the Hierophant reversed. And what this is saying here, again, we have the five. We had the Five of Pentacles here, and now we have the Five of Cups. What has to happen is whatever this situation is the first 2 weeks, or what you're working through. For each of you, it'll be different. But whatever this situation is, when you finally, work through it and you figure out, you have maybe some grief regarding this, or there could be some stress or whatever. Once you figure it out, it's like time to move on from that, and you have the strength to do that. And it's going to take a bit to heal from this, and it's going to be an adjustment period. For most of you, it won't be just instantaneous, but it'll be like a process. But you're going to feel day by day after this kind of awakening and this mental adjustment that a lot of you are going to go through. You're going to feel like day by day that it gets easier, and you're going to see at the other end of this, especially like even in the end of February, that you're going to a better place now, and that the adjustment needed to happen. Now, the Hierophant reversed is interesting because what this is doing is, and the reason for this is that the Hierophant is traditions. It's doing things in the way that have always been done. It's like our comfort zone. It's our like rule book, so to speak. Okay, what you're doing when you make this mental adjustment and realize that you have to be there for yourself. You have to put yourself, forward, and you have to, heal yourself, save yourself, do all of those things. You're breaking away from old patterns, and that's what this Hierophant is. This is saying like, okay, it's time to break these old patterns, and that's what the first 2 weeks is about for you. There's a reason for it, and whenever I do a reading, I always like to give a reason of why things are transpiring, and that's the reason. It's to break the old habits and ways of being, and you're going to see at the other end of the month, as you go through this, you're going to see that you're at a better place, type of a thing. Well, anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any personal questions in your life about a situation or anything else and would like a personal reading, or if you would like your astrological chart analyzed for your personal soul path, there's going to be a link from our website down in the description box. Would love to hear from you. Reach out, say hi in the comments, and again, thank you so much. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Taurus and or the second house. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope reading for the first half of February. Okay, so the card that popped out for you is the reversed Two of Cups. And I'm thinking that the first half of February, it's going to be the first 2 weeks, it's going to be about relationships for you. Maybe more than one, but for sure, like one. It could be for a lot of you, just like one relationship in your life. And there's going to be some like static, okay, some things that are needing adjustment. I'm not seeing anything for most of you that's too wild, okay. But there's definitely some sort of an issue or friction in a relationship in your life. Now, that could be, as you all know, I always say it could play out in romantic relationships, family, friends, or even like a work situation. Um, I am seeing when we get to the timeline cards are, down here, that I'm seeing something that has to do with someone, an authority figure in your life. And here's why I say that. Your timeline cards are, you've got the reversed emperor, you've got the nine of cups reversed, and then you've got the ace of swords. And what I'm seeing here with the emperor is, the emperor is a person of authority. It could be, everything from a boss or supervisor. It could be a parent, a father. A lot of times it means, or it could be like, or a mother, some sort of a parental figure. It could be a a professor, teacher, someone in authority. It can even also be like authorities of, like, not necessarily do we always see this, but it could be like, like legal things, or like the government in some way. Um, but someone of authority, and even I also should mention it could even be someone in a romantic relationship with us, because as I always say, like, and the reason I say romantic relationships are people of authority in our lives, it's not that they have authority over us, but we give them authority because they are important. Like most people that have a romantic, relationship, or that have some sort of a close relationship of a family member, even though they're not over you, or you're not over them in a way, they still, because they're so important in our life, they become an authority figure. Okay, so however this plays out, with whoever this relationship is, it has to do with your dreams and desires. With this reversed nine of cups, where it is like you want to go. And I feel like with your two advice cards, the knight of cups and the reversed moon, I have a feeling that it's almost like, it's like there could be a situation of almost like a dream killer situation where, like someone close to you, whatever this relationship is could be putting a damper on your hopes, wishes, dreams, desires. And if you've heard that term before, like a dream killer, it's just like, you might, tell someone, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to open up a business, or I'm going to go back to school, or whatever. And then they start saying all the negative possible things that could happen, or whatever, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, sometimes out of whatever jealousy or spite, or sometimes out of just like, like ignorance and thinking that they're helping. But whatever it is, we call those people kind of like situations dream killers. And I feel like that's what this is doing, where it's like it could be discouraging you, okay, in that. What you want to do here is two things. With this Ace of Swords, this card is one of the meanings of it is it's about when to exert your personal authority and your personal power. Um, like what you could say, like use of force. And I'm not talking about necessarily like physical force, okay? Although, like occasionally that could happen. You have to stand up for yourself. But it's really just kind of standing up for yourself in general type of a thing, okay? So that's the part one of this, is that you have to, you're basically standing up for your dreams, for what it is you want out of life type of a thing. And that's what this Knight of Cups is saying. This is the romantic dreamer. This is someone that, everybody that's ever had any sort of success in life, it started off as a dream, as a plan. Just like really think about all the people that have made it in the various industries, and the stories you've heard. It's always like, they had a dream, okay? And so you want to stand up for that dream, and that's what this is saying. Now, with the moon reversed, is there's a hidden element to this situation. And what I mean by that is the motives of this person or relationship in your life that could be like a dream killer type of a thing. There are things that are hidden under the surface that that other person or people, and it could be multiple people, what things that they are not even aware of, okay? And so what you have to do is, and the reason that this is kind of a heads up for you, is you want to try to use your abilities of being a detective. Because remember, if you're watching this video, your North Node in Taurus or the second house, your South Node is in Scorpio or the eighth house, which is the scientist, the researcher, the detective. Okay. And so what you want to do is to understand this is start digging, even if it's in your mind. Okay, why is this person being like this? Like, figure out why, because it's important for you to make sense of it. Because, occasionally, sometimes we run across people in our life that, that we maybe not might not want to spend a bunch of time when we find out that they really don't have our back. But I don't know what this is. What you have to do is you're supposed to dig a little bit deeper using that South Node type of a thing, okay? But whatever this is, stand up for your dreams, stand up for what you believe in. Don't give up, don't let this situation put a damper on, what it is you want to accomplish, in your life. And stand strong. And that's what this is saying. Again, remember your North Node. It's, the bull, okay? It's like, stand your ground, stand your ground. You're not here to necessarily cater to everybody else's, thoughts, dreams, desires for you. It's time for you to move toward that Taurus independence, okay? And second house independence. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life about a situation, or you would like your astrological chart analyzed where I could see your personal timeline path, there's a link in the description box below for my website so you can get some more information. Reach out to me in the comments, say hi. If you have any questions, please feel free to do that. And with that, have a great one. We'll see you mid-month for the next set of videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Gemini and or the third house. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope readings for the first half of February. Okay, so the card that popped out for you is the Two of Pentacles reversed. And what I'm feeling like for a lot of you for the first 2 weeks of February is there could be in your life like some juggling going on. And it could be like juggling finances with something, moving things around. It could be juggling your life around, like your time and other resources, trying to fit certain things in. And it feels like, there's like a lot of different things going on, in your life that you're trying to like get a handle on and juggle. Now, the good thing is that the reason this is happening is this is getting you to kind of, I'm getting this thing of like, think outside the box. Because remember, your North Node in Gemini or the third house, you're moving from your South Node in Sagittarius or the ninth house, which is, my way or the highway. This is the way it's always been done, the way we're always going to do it, type of a thing. And the Gemini situation is, hey, what can I learn from this person? Or let me look at this. Let me try something different. It's like really being flexible in things you do. That's the reason why this is happening the first 2 weeks. It's like this training of helping you get flexible. So it's a positive. Now your timeline cards are, you've got the Sun upright, you've got the Two of Swords reversed, and then you've got the Seven of Wands. Now, anytime you see the Sun in a tarot reading, whether it's upright, which is yours is, or even reversed, it's a positive thing. And with this card, what it is that I'm here to tell you that the first 2 weeks, whatever is going on with this juggling in your life and forcing you to be really flexible, is a real positive, and it's something that should be looked at as positive. And it's actually strengthening you. It's like I'm getting the feeling of like strengthening different muscles in your life. Now, I'm not talking about literal muscles, but I'm talking about the muscles of flexibility, of being, um, you know, having ingenuity and working through issues and problems. Okay. And so with the Two of Swords reversed, this is opening you up. It's like opening you up from leaving stagnation behind, leaving that south node in Sagittarius and or the ninth house. Okay, leaving that behind. And this is opening you up. It's opening you up not only mentally, but emotionally, and it's letting in good things. But here's the thing with the Seven of Wands, okay, so the first 2 weeks, there's gonna be this little bit of a struggle with this because you got juggling and you got struggling, okay, and so, but the struggling part, you are on top of it, okay. You have the energy, you have what it takes to kind of overcome this whole thing, okay, and so you have the energy, and that's where the sun is, okay. It's giving you that energy to do this. Now, your two advice cards are you've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and you've got the Nine of Cups. Now, what I'm feeling like is with this Queen of Pentacles, I feel like this is an actual person in your life because the King, Queen, Knight, and Pages that are also known as the Court cards can either refer to actual people in a reading, like in your life in an actual reading, um, or actual people in a reading, or they could refer to energies. In this case, I feel like it's an actual person, and I feel like this person is probably an Earth sign, so Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy that I'm getting in this, and I feel like this person is someone that can help you with this struggling and juggling in your life right now. So it's like a resource that you have to recognize. That's the reason why it's reversed. And this person is going to play an important role. I don't know who it is. For each of you, it's going to be different, but I'm feeling like, and it could be, any gender, male or female. Although I am getting more of a stronger vibe of more of a feminine type energy. But what they're doing is they can help you make these adjustments, with the juggling and the struggling. And what it ends up is it's going to get you to a better place of accomplishing your goals. Okay. And so that's what this is all about. So try to recognize this person. If people are helping you or giving you advice, don't necessarily just pay attention to any advice someone gives you, but like contemplate it, like take it in, kind of think about it, and you'll know, like your intuition, people that have, your North Node in Gemini or the third house have a natural intuition. So you'll know, but at least keep your eyes and ears open for this person and for what they can offer you as far as working through your goals. But again, the reason that this is going on is this is training you into your North Node, okay, by Sun and House, making you flexible, making you resilient, making you think outside the box, and to tap into your natural ingenuity type of a thing. Okay, so yeah, all good things. Yeah, let me know how this plays out for each of you. You can reach out in the comments and see how this plays out. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal reading or would like your astrological chart analyzed, there's a link in the description box below from your website. Or if you have any questions, reach out to me in the comments. Would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Cancer and or the 4th house. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope reading for the first half of February. Okay, so the card that popped out for you is actually the Death card. Now, if you watch my channel for any number of months or years, you know that the so-called scary cards, they're not scary. Okay, they have like deep meanings. We're not talking about actual, like death or the devil, or they're symbolic cards. They're archetypes. Okay, what this is saying is, when and looking at this reading here, is if you're watching this, because I'm also a North Node in Cancer. Okay, if you have North Node in Cancer and or the 4th house, you've been going through a period of transformation. I mean, everyone's always going through periods of transformation. Okay, all of us, but you especially. Okay, with this North Node by sign and house, there's a lot of transformation, and it's positive. Okay, it hasn't always been like easy or pretty. Okay, but it's a positive. And what's happening is you are this is like, I'm getting of the final stages of this transformation. Kind of like the image I'm getting is like when the process of a moth or a butterfly, when the caterpillar, it makes the cocoon, okay, and they're going through this transformation. They're not out of the cocoon yet. They might even just be breaking, but it's like the final stages before you come out of that cocoon of transformation. And I'll tell you what that is. Here's your timeline cards are. You've got the Ace of Wands reversed. You've got the 6 of Pentacles, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Now, with this whole transformation process and the Ace of Wands reversed, a lot of you could be feeling energetically, either emotionally energetic or physically energetic, a little bit drained through this process, because this has been going on for most of you a number of years, okay, if not like months and months. Okay, this transformation process, and it's ongoing, and it's like this is not the final transformation of who you will be, but what you're hitting is, you're hitting that next level. And we never, throughout our life, we never stop going through levels and learning, but this is like the final step before you achieve that next level. And as I said, you could be feeling a little bit drained energetically. That's normal. Just try to take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally as best you can. What is it that this final thing, what is it that has to happen, and what wants to happen for you to hit this kind of like next level up? Well, it's where the 6 of Pentacles is, right here. And the final step of, before this beautiful butterfly or really wonderful, gorgeous moth can come out of their transformation period, is the inner beauty of compassion and care, not only for yourself but for those around you, like being open to, as I said, like compassion, gratitude, um, helping. And normally people see this card, and this is not a card of just physical charity, although that's one of its meanings, where it's like, I'm giving money to a charity or whatever. But this is, you can give charity by, for example, someone does something bonehead or says something bonehead, and maybe you don't jump on them for that. Okay, that's like an act of kindness, or you let it go. You let it go. Or just treating someone decently in the day-to-day life, of just giving of yourself, of like your compassion and your emotions. That's what this is about. This is what you're learning, okay? And I don't want you to get impatient during this process. This is a very important. Remember, open up your heart. Like, don't get impatient with this. Now, the other end of this, the reason I say it's the next plateau is the Wheel of Fortune reverse. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is one of those cards that is also positive in its reversed state. It's that this card is desiring and wanting to move up. And by you hitting this final stage, this is when this card moves up. And this is when you hit that next level. And there are good things awaiting you on that next level. Okay. It's a better place to be, which you will find out. So the reason it's reversed is it's, delayed. It's still, you're still working on this. Okay. And the difficult thing is that, as I said, a lot of you, the energy level, mentally, emotionally, physically, could be down a little bit. As I said, just try to, however it is you recharge yourself, please kind of, do that. You just need to recharge, take a couple of, deep breaths and like move on toward this final transformation. Now, your advice cards are, you've got the 10 of Cups reversed, and you've got the Two of Pentacles. And what I'm seeing here is that the reason that the 10 of Cups is reversed is this is about where it is you're moving. There could be this feeling of this impatience, like you want to get to that next level we're talking about of happiness and contentment and whatnot, but there's a little bit of impatience. You feel like you're not there yet. And so it's almost like when you imagine, like, you're going through the desert and you see this oasis. There's water, there's food, okay, there's shade. And it's like you're getting there and you're almost there, and it's a feeling of like, you're tired, you're thirsty, you're hungry, but you can see it in sight. And that's what this is. You could see this beautiful life that you desire and that you do deserve, okay, right there, but you're not quite there yet. And so it's the feeling of like, when am I going to ever get there? And there's a little bit of impatience. What this is saying is that with the Two of Pentacles is, be patient. There's some more work to do. And the reason the Pentacles are juggling here is these are adjustments. Okay. So you're making these final adjustments, and the adjustment is always think about, how can I be more compassionate? How can I be more understanding? How can I be more loving? How can I be more emotionally open with the world, with people around me, and in my life? And how can I be that also for myself? Okay. How, the whole self-love thing. And when that's really what this is all about. And you're transforming, and it's a beautiful thing, because when you hit this next level, there's going to be a beauty about you that is going to be recognizable to everybody, including yourself. Like, and we're not talking about physical beauty. What we're talking about here is, we're talking about just sometimes you see a person, like it could be, a kind old woman sitting on a park bench, okay? And she might be 85 years old, right? But you see a beauty in her, okay? That it's like it's perceptible. People that talk to her, there's this kind of, inner beauty, okay? And that's what we're talking about. That's this next level for you, where it doesn't mean that you're finished growing as a person. Okay, you've just hit this next level. It doesn't mean that you're a perfect person, but it just means in general, that you've hit this new level of like kind of inner beauty, and it's a great thing. Okay, so that's what you're working on. And I feel like, even though this came up the first 2 weeks, I feel like this is going to be playing out for several months. But it was important for you to have this heads up because of that impatience part, where you might feel like I don't have the energy for this. And that when you're feeling kind of like with a loss of energy and the impatience, that combination is not good. And that's when you can maybe like take a couple of steps back. And anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this reading helpful. If you have any questions in your life, or if you would like a personal reading where I can analyze your astrological chart to see your optimal timeline, click on my website in the description box below and get some more information. But again, thank you for watching. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Leo and or the 5th house. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope reading for the first half of February. Okay, so the card that popped out for you is the Seven of Pentacles reversed. And what I'm feeling like for the first 2 weeks of February is there's a situation that is going to involve possibly your career, what it is you do for a living, and or even if you are even going to school or something like that, whatever it is you do, if you're self-employed or even a side hustle, something you create even. So if you're a musician on the side or something, something that you actually do that's of importance. And there's a little bit of impatience regarding that situation. Um, Impatience on the part of others, like you're being called to step outside of yourself and maybe like give more on a creative level or something, some sort of an input, in something. Okay, well, it's like you're being asked to reach above and beyond kind of what you normally do. So what are your timeline cards are? Okay, you've got the you've got the King of Cups, you've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and as I said, you've got the Three of Pentacles. Now, I feel like the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Cups, these are referring to actual people in this situation. One could be you and one could be the other person, or both of these could be other people. But what I'm feeling like for this situation is these people that are playing this role are trying to, in one way or another, get you to maybe go above and beyond what you normally think you can do in something. Okay, whether it be, like I said, work or something that you are doing on a daily basis, your art, your creation, your dreams and desires. And I feel like they're pushing you toward that. How do they push you toward that? It could be through encouragement or prodding, or it actually could be kind of like believe it or not, like kind of through negativity to kind of get you to like because prodding and negativity, it can be like a motivator. Okay, so I'm feeling like that could be part of this whole kind of in the mix here, right? um and so that's what this is. These people are just, they're playing a part in getting you into a higher level of, there could be some resistance of like wanting to go to this kind of next level in your life of standing out. And as I said, maybe you have a talent that you're not using, or maybe you're being asked through your career to kind of do something different. What I'm telling you is that it's really important that you tap into, and this is like showing people what you can do, because you will be rewarded for it. Don't be Don't be shy. Don't be timid in sharing different parts of yourself, your creativity, um, your mind, uh, your ideas. Don't be afraid to do that. And that's what this is really saying. Now, your two advice cards are you've got the Three of Swords, and then you've got the Hermit. Now, the Three of Swords, what this is referring to is this is referring to the fear of rejection, the fear of failure in this part. It's almost like, and you feel like sometimes like taking this big leap and this big risk and whatever this is for you personally, um, there's a fear of it, as I said, you being hurt in some way, mentally, emotionally, in this, okay? And the impatience part I mentioned is coming from you're feeling it within yourself too. Like you're feeling the impatience, and then others around you are being impatient because, as I said, like the universe is trying to prod you, pull you, push you toward greatness. I mean, there's no other way to say it. And when I mean greatness, it just means like, we're not necessarily talking about, you're going to be king or queen of the world or whatever, but it's like, towards success, toward standing out, because everybody that has this north node, if you've watched my videos, okay, north node in Leo, right? Or the fifth house, you have gifts and talents to give to the world, and you have the ability to actually stand out and give something of value to the world. That could play out in something in a creative aspect, something in the arts. It could be something, so writing, movie making, music, whatever it is. It could be in through business, in ideas that you have, okay, groundbreaking ideas, okay. But that's what this is saying, and so you have to the fear. You want to get rid of this fear, and the Hermit reversed is this is saying it's like the way some of you may have been living, even if, this may sound weird because a lot of you who are watching this could be super outgoing and, have lots of social activities, okay? You're like, I'm not the hermit, okay? But that's not what we're talking about, okay? Many of you, because you have a south node in Aquarius, and or the 11th house, have large groups of friends and big families, and and maybe work for big, and you're well known and well liked, okay, but that can be a hiding place. So like groups of people and your friends and everyone likes you, okay, that's like the tribe, and that's what the Aquarius rules. The tribe, groups of people, the collective can be hiding places. And so this is saying, simply put, it's time for you to stand out. Okay. And there's going to be opportunities this month, especially the first 2 weeks, even in little ways to stand out. Okay. And that's what the Hermit is saying. The Hermit is saying, okay, you're coming out of this hermit stage into, and you can be a hermit, but be around a lot of people. The people are your cave. You're hiding in that group, okay, type of a thing. It's time to come out because you have something in you. Everybody that has North Node in Leo and or the fifth house has something or many things to offer to the world, but it's going to require you to like kind of step out of that comfort zone, to like step out and share it and drop that fear of being hurt by it, okay? So don't give up that opportunity. Be patient with yourself. Start moving toward that, and the others will be more patient with you also. Don't worry if there's players in your life that are prodding you into a certain direction, okay? Just understand that's what the universe is trying to ultimately help you on your path, okay? So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life, or if you would like your astrological chart analyzed and your personal life path looked at, there's going to be a link in the description box below from our website, and we can give you some more information on that. reach out, say hi in the comments. If you could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Virgo and or the 6th house. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope reading for the first half of February. Okay, yeah, so the card that popped out for you is the Chariot card. And this is a very powerful reading for you North Nodes in Virgo and or the 6th house. I feel like you're in this period of like big transformation and really like being able to like things are starting to come together for you, okay? And even if you don't feel that way, they are kind of behind the scenes. Things are falling into place, even if you don't feel it. Some of you will feel it, but others it's like you'll like catch up. You feel you're moving forward. And really what's happening is a lot of you with the Chariot, this is a card of movement, and it can be a movement, forwards, backwards, sideways, okay, depending on it, uh, how this card is playing out. But you notice that with the two sphinxes, the white and the black, we're talking about polarities, and this is about balance. And so you are able to move forward now because you're balancing out certain things in your life. So what are you balancing? Okay, let's get into your timeline. So you've got the Hermit, you've got the Nine of Wands, and you've got the Lover's card. What's balancing out here is, remember, your North Node in Virgo and or the 6th house, one of the things that it's about is it's about bringing the non-physical into the physical, bringing the spiritual into the physical, bringing the grand ideas, the universal thoughts into the physical, okay? Because of your South Node in Pisces and or the 12th house, most of you have had very intense lifetimes, and you've learned quite a bit. And even in this lifetime, most people that I know that have the North Node in Virgo or the 6th house have had pretty intense like lives early on in their life. What's happening here, what the Hermit and the Nine of Wands is saying is that you of all the North Nodes have the most experience in incarnating and with just like life experience in general, like universal experience. And that's what the Hermit is. This is about wisdom, okay? Even if you don't think so, like even a person who might on the surface who has this North Node, you might think, oh, like we're not talking about like necessarily book smarts, okay? We're talking about the wisdom of experience. So even someone that might seem very, like nondescript or kind of under the radar or, doesn't really stand out, if they have this North Node in Virgo or the 6th house, they have this inner wisdom through experience. And that's where this other card comes in, the Nine of Wands. This is experience. It's learning through experience. All of these experiences that you have had in this lifetime and other lifetimes is wanting to come into the physical. Now, how does it come into the physical? One of the big ways is with the Lover's card is through your relationships. Now, yes, the Lover's card it can be about romantic relationships, obviously, okay, significant others. But it doesn't just mean that. It's relationships of all sorts, especially when, not so much business relationships, but it's relationships that have a heart connection, some sort of an emotional connection. Okay, so yeah, it can be family, close friends, and I never rule out in business. Okay, but it's kind of like secondary, but it has to have like some sort of, you know, like a heart connection. Okay, and what you're doing now is this first half of February, you're given the opportunity to begin. If you, most of you already have started this, but to begin helping people by sharing your wisdom and your experience. Now, does that mean you have to sit down and talk with them for an hour and be a counselor? No, not necessarily. Okay, it could just be like listening to someone that has something going on, and you deeply understand it at a deep level, and you're able to give them some encouragement, or just, you know, a hug, or whatever it is. You know, it's that understanding, a deeper understanding of things, where people that don't have your experience of lifetimes don't have that to give, and that's what's very valuable. Okay, so that's what's coming out for you, is it's this sharing of this, and it's already started for most of you, and it's just going to be continuing it. This is a big theme in February, is just sharing this and being there, because what you hold is something very valuable. Now, the other reason I say this is, look at your advice cards. You've got the Three of Cups, and you've got the Nine of Pentacles. The Three of Cups is, yes, it's a card of celebration, but more so at a deeper level. This is connecting with people and intertwining your emotions with others. Okay, intertwining. Different than the Two of Cups, but similar but different, where the two cups are meeting and connecting. This is an intertwining, okay, of really helping people at, maybe I could even say, like a deeper, more intimate level. Because when people can feel when you kind of truly understand them at a deeper level, okay? And so what you want to do is, don't shy away from sharing with others emotionally, being able to connect emotionally, because what ends up happening is, when what you're doing is, you're following your north node, and you're bringing all that experience and into the physical world by helping someone else. And, you know, even if it's just words or whatever, that is bringing it into the physical, because you're bringing that in to somebody else here, in this lifetime. Now, the other card we have here is the Nine of Pentacles. Now, this card is also known as the woman alone. Not necessarily, you know, it's not uh, involuntary. It's voluntary. Like, she is known as the woman who, like, feels like, I'm content within myself. I don't necessarily need anybody else. And it doesn't necessarily. It just means a little bit more, you know, independent and happy with that independence. The reason she's reversed here is, this is saying, like, if some of you may be in situations where, you know, you feel very comfortable, you have your routines, and you don't necessarily, you know, want to break them. And so it could seem like uncomfortable to, you know, kind of share things emotionally with people, or kind of reach out. You know, this is saying, like, it's time to intertwine your knowledge, your experience, your emotional connections with others around you. Like, don't hesitate to do that. But as I said, for some of you, there could be the tendency of, like, well, I'm really comfortable in my own thing, you know, and I don't want to do that. But just remember, it's really important for you to do that, because you are here on this life path to help people and share experiences, and share your experiences. Because, as I said before, most people with this North Node have had many, many varied type of experiences. So yeah, don't hesitate the first half of February and throughout the month. It's an ongoing thing. What's in it for you? Okay, the Chariot here. Okay, this is going to keep moving you forward. Every time you can share something with somebody, you can help somebody. You use your experience to help those people in relationships with you, those around you. You're moving forward on your path, and that path leads to more happiness and contentment for you. So it's not like you're not getting anything out of it. You're getting a lot out of it, okay? But that's what's wanting to happen. And remember, just a reminder, that's why you're here, to share. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading, or if you would like your astrological chart analyzed where I could look at your personal soul path, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. But with that, please hit that like button. Reach out with any comments or questions. Love to hear from y'all, and we'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Libra and or the 7th house. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope reading for the first half of February. Okay, so the card that popped out for you for the first half of February is the Five of Swords. And the feeling I'm getting with this card is it's definitely a card of conflict, or it's a card of kind of what I would call like ugly competitiveness. Okay. Now, this could be coming. I don't know where this is if this is going to be directed toward you, or if you could be embroiled in this situation for the first 2 weeks of February, where, as I said, it's kind of like when competition becomes unsportsmanlike, for lack of a better term. Let me explain more. Like, let's say, a healthy competition is like, okay, a group of people, let's say there's like sales goals in a company and everyone's competing, and then it's like, okay, maybe you win or you didn't win, but afterwards everyone shakes hands and says, okay, good game, you know. But ugly competition is when it's like there could be stuff where there, people trying to um, degrade or to, kind of hurt the people, like kind of mentally or emotionally in some way. And so I'm feeling like there's a situation you're dealing with, and I don't know if it's coming, if it's like a mutual thing. But the one thing I do know, if you're watching this video and you have your North Node in Libra, that means that your South Node is in Aries. Okay. And I know some South Nodes, in Aries, and it could be something where, remember, your shadow side could be coming from Aries. So a lot of times these people have had lots of incidents of, kind of relationships going south, and, with things kind of, possibly getting ugly. If you notice, like throughout your life, you probably have had this, and that comes because you have a natural strength in Aries. You're a natural born warrior, and that warrior spirit. But it also does attract competition. It attracts conflict sometimes. Okay, because it is the archetype of the warrior. But in this lifetime, you're supposed to be the spiritual warrior. You're evolving toward your Libra North Node. Okay, so there's a situation that you're dealing with. What do you have on your timeline here? Well, you've got the Nine of Pentacles reversed. You've got the Six of Swords upright and the Queen of Swords. What I'm thinking about this is that I see this situation playing out where we'll start with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, a lot of you are going, and you've probably been realizing it, that, like, you know you have to admit that you need other people in your life. Like, you need relationships. They're important, and you're not supposed to be like the lone wolf and trying to do everything yourself, and you're supposed to, nurture relationships with other people. Okay, and that's what this Queen of Pentacles reverse, this is known as the woman alone. And it can be a good thing or it can be a negative thing. Okay, so like there's times when we need our alone time, but the negative thing is that if we are having trouble throughout our lives with various relationships, work relationships, romantic relationships, family, friends, and whatnot, and there's conflicts. It's what ends up happening with the North Node in Libras, because of that Aries South Node, is there could be a kind of holding back from getting involved. What I see happening is that when this situation happens the first 2 weeks, whatever this is, and it could be, minor, major, a major thing. It could be something where someone just says something and then you say something back, or it could be an ongoing thing you have with somebody, or whatever. And when you get this Five of Swords, okay, like there could be things could be said that are not nice, that are kind of ugly. I mean, it's not a pretty picture, okay? But what you're being told to do is you're being told to move toward that Libra, the peacemaker, okay? Of all the signs in the zodiac, okay, Libra is known as the peacemaker. I mean, remember that the ruling planet is Venus, okay? And so what you're being told to do is you're being told to move away from these troubled waters, from this conflict, and especially mentally and emotionally. And what you're doing is you're moving to your highest self. This Queen of Swords is your card for Libra. Okay, swords rule all the air signs, including Libra. And what you're evolving toward is you're evolving toward someone that can not be triggered by every little thing done or said to them, that can maybe take the higher road, that can walk away from conflict, or can play the peacemaker. So the Queen of Swords here is looking at this. She's still connected to her emotions, okay, but she's able to rise above it with her intellect and really see the situation from a higher perspective. And that's what I see a lot of you doing, even if it's on a small scale. Like the minute that you are able to not resist the impulse to always retaliate in some way, and you're able to see and have the strength to walk away and maybe see things from a higher perspective, take some deep breaths and play the peacemaker role, um, that's a huge win. Okay. It's really easy for us to get sucked in to, someone says or does something to us and then we react, and that's natural. But this is telling you to take that higher road. And one thing I can say is when you do that, um, you get rewarded in your life. Like what I noticed with all the North nodes, the North node in Libra or the North node in Aries, either one, when they are following their soul path, with their North node by sign and house, and they're doing it, and they're actually making decisions based on that, they get rewards quicker than the other North nodes. I've noticed. Okay, so there's something in it for you. It's going to take willpower. Okay, I get it. Now, what are your advice cards? Okay, you've got the Page of Swords reversed, and you've got the Eight of Cups. Now, we'll start with the page. Okay, there's two meanings to this. Okay, number one, pages are communications, they're messages. And as I said before, swords have to deal with the air signs, but they also deal with the planet Mercury and communication. Okay, so they're about words, things we say, or things we communicate, saying through text or an email or whatever kind of communication it is. This is saying that your advice here is don't be too quick to retaliate with your words. That's meaning number one in this, okay? hold back, be like the Queen of Swords, take the higher road, take some deep breaths, count to 10, okay? The other thing about this is that this card is about being vigilant and watchful, but it's also about, the page is holding the sword. It's also about knowing when to use force and when not to. And when I mean force, I don't necessarily mean physical force. We're talking about the force of reacting to something. Someone says or does something, and it's like you forcefully answer or say something back, okay? It's knowing when to use it or not use it. And that's what this reversed Page of Swords is saying. The other advice card is the Eight of Cups. And this is about, again, similarly to the Six of Swords, this is about walking away emotionally from this situation. Okay, walking away, being okay with it, having the strength to walk away. This is moving away from conflict also, okay? So you're being told to do that, and it's going to, it's going to take willpower. It doesn't mean that you should never stand up for yourself, but it's learning when to, if you're able to play the peacemaker, okay? A lot of times we can't be a peacemaker if someone says or does something to us. We immediately go into, attack mode or whatever, okay? If it's not that you shouldn't feel like when someone says or does something to us, naturally we're going to feel it. We could feel like anger coming up and other emotions or whatever, and that's natural. But you don't necessarily have to impulsively act on it. That's what this whole reading is about. Is that the first 2 weeks it's a test for you to see if you can, number one, not impulsively react to a situation, and number two, if you can take it a step further and actually try to be a peacemaker in this situation. Okay, it's a tall order. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but the rewards are there for you if you do that. Trust me, okay? You will be rewarded by the universe. I've seen people with this North Node, when they do something that is correctly on their path, because we're dealing with Aries, Aries and the polarity of Libra, okay, these two things, or the first house, seventh house, these are quick reactions, quick, okay? So the rewards usually come pretty quick, It's like, oh, okay, I did this. And the more you can kind of do that, you're going to see the rewards kind of come in. It's not going to be easy, okay? But if you can do that, remember, it's in this lifetime, it's for you to not be the lone wolf, to value and nurture relationships, to be able to go through conflict, and to be able to navigate conflict without just like reacting right away. And when you do that, like I said, the rewards are going to be there. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal reading, or if you would like your astrological chart analyzed where I could see your personal soul path based on your chart, there's a link in the description box below for my website, and you can get some more information on that. But again, thanks for watching. Comment and ask any questions you'd like. I love to interact with you all. Please hit that like button. It helps very much. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Scorpio and or the 8th house. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope reading for the first half of February. Okay, yeah, interesting reading. So the card that popped out for you is the Queen of Swords. And I feel like this is an energy that the universe wants you to embody. and we'll get in more in just a minute. But this is something that the universe is wanting to embody this first half of February. So, what are your timeline cards? You've got the Magician reversed, you've got the Three of Swords, and you've got the Ace of Cups. What I'm seeing here is that there is a situation to where in your life you've had someone that has like tricked you or deceived you in some way or misled you. All of those types of energies. A person that, this could be like, a con man or woman, or just someone who is like, could be someone like even, deceitful, but you're seeing like trickery with the, magician here. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's in a romantic relationship. It can be for each of you in different areas of your life. It could be a close friend, it could be a family member, yes, a romantic relationship, a work relationship, or in general. I feel like it's not so much a stranger, it's someone that you know and have to interact with, because there's a lot of emotion there. And what this is saying here is that you're being asked to look at this situation at a deeper level. And that's where the queen comes in. Because one of the things about your north node is with Scorpio, yes, there's strong emotions, but it is also the um, the archetype of Scorpio in the eighth house is the detective. It's the scientist. It's the archaeologist. It's like uncovering secrets and things that were buried, type of a thing. And so you're seeing things you're supposed to see this situation in person from a higher perspective, and not necessarily get sucked in uh, over emotionally, I should say. Okay. Now, with the Three of Swords, okay, so this is something that it could have happened recently. It could be something for each of you. It could have been like, years or months ago or whatever, but it's like resurfacing in some way, okay? So, and it could, like I said, be very recent. And there's a lot of, there's a lot of hurt in whatever this is that happened, whatever this person did to you. There is this emotional hurt. But where you're moving toward is, I see you moving, and it's interesting because you have the Three of Swords, but then you've got the Ace of Cups. They're like the complete opposite polarity cards, You're moving into an area that is emotional intelligence. This is also like, this is making way for you to have stronger relationships, whether that be romantic love relationships, family, friends. But it's like a refining process that you've gone through. Like, you've gone through this, and for whatever reason it was a mistake, and you've learned from it, but now it's time to kind of heal from this. But what I'm here to tell you is that the reason for you going through this was, it's like a refining process, so you can know yourself better, know your heart better, know people at a deeper level. Because one of the things that can happen with your south node, okay, so if your north node's in Scorpio or the eighth house, your south node is in Taurus or the second house. One of the things that can happen with that south node energy is the dark side of Taurus in the second house is like wanting to see things too simply, too basically. So when they see things like, and it can be very surface level. So what ends up happening is people could come into your life and everything looks good on the surface. It's very shiny and this and that, and you're just like, okay, we're good to go, And you can be kind of fooled because you're not going under the surface. So what this has taught you is that when you are in relationships and dealing with people, no matter where it is in your life you're dealing with this and what kind of relationship it is, you have to kind of investigate it deeper at a deeper level, not take things at a surface level. And what's going to end up happening is when you do that, if you can realize, okay, wow, I've done that, I'm going to really kind of look at the people in my life and the relationships at a deeper level and understand them at a deeper level. And you're going to be able to move toward stronger relationships. And I do see you, if you're currently in a romantic relationship, I feel like it's going to be strengthened. But if you're not in one, or you're in transitioning, out of one, I see it, like more like a stronger, more healthier love coming into your life, type of a thing. It's like a reward for recognizing and kind of going through this. And the key is going through it and learning from it, and learning from, okay, man, I can't just keep taking things at surface level. I have to take the time to dig a little bit deeper. I can't just go with things that are on the surface, And again, that's seeing things from a higher perspective. It's the investigator, okay? Now, the two advice cards are, you've got the reversed Eight of Pentacles, and you've got the Five of Swords. Now, what this is saying is that it's really important that you take the time and you don't overlook this situation, because there's an energy that I'm feeling with this Eight of Pentacles. Yes, it normally means work, but there could be a tendency for you to not understand what this situation really was, and learn from it. And it's kind of like you just put your head down and start working again, you know what I mean? Like, without recognizing what really went on, as opposed to saying, okay, yeah, I made a mistake. I maybe, I chose this person and I went through it. It was ugly. It wasn't great, but I've learned from it. But I guess the advice here is, it's saying, don't just dismiss it, okay, it's over, and then you just go down and you start working again with your head down. That's what it's saying. Don't do that. You want to understand it. This is about higher understanding. And then with the Five of Swords, this is basically saying that I'm thinking for you, this is something where you may have to, at some point, um, kind of engage in some things that are uncomfortable. And I'll say, I'll call it ugliness, kind of like getting your hands dirty, type of thing. Where you may have to, you're not going to want to, you're going to, because your natural tendency is to move away from all drama and complexity. Okay. This is kind of, it's like getting down and dirty and getting into this situation. It may require a little bit of, kind of digging into it on your part, and kind of as I say, kind of getting your hands dirty, meaning that, this person says or does something and you may have to react. Don't just, let it go, but deal with the situation, and the way, if in a proper way, you know what I mean? Not, don't just walk away and not respond. But see, again, that's where the Queen comes in, is having the higher perspective of when and what to do in any given situation. So yeah, it's not going to be easy, but just remember, this first 2 weeks, whatever this is, it could be something, as I said, that's old that's coming back, or something that's fairly new. In whatever way this is happening, um, deal with it, and don't just bypass it. Don't put your head down and ignore it. Deal with it, but dig deeper, investigate. Okay, why did this happen? Why did this person do this? Why did, you know, um, did I, make these choices, or whatever? But in any case, it does stem from some sort of kind of manipulator, trickster type energy that has gone on, or that is going to go on. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm seeing for the first 2 weeks, and this is um, a really important test for you to go through this. It's not going to feel pleasant, but the good news is I really want you to take this reading to heart and to graduate, because I see that on the other end, the rewards are very great emotionally. And I see really good things like love and lots of positivity if you can navigate through this. Okay. So it's well worth doing. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading, or if you would like your astrological chart analyzed where I could see where your timeline is taking you and where it's taking you in the future, click on the link in the description box below for my website. We can get some more information to you. But again, thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you could. Comment, say hi, or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But with that, we'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Sagittarius and or the ninth house. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope reading for the first half of February. Okay, so the card that popped out for you is the Emperor, Emperor reversed. And this reading is about someone in your life of authority, okay? And also, it's a dual meaning. It's also yourself. But we'll start with the someone in your life. When I mean someone of authority, it could be like a boss or a supervisor. It could be a professor or a teacher. It could be a parent, particularly like a father figure, but not necessarily. But like I said, a parent. But I also say authority figures are also people that are very important in our life. It doesn't mean they have authority over us necessarily. So, for example, our significant other is also considered an authority figure. Why is that? Because we care about what they think. We care about them. Okay, so they're of great importance in our life. So they are an authority, as I said, not over us, but, equal to us, but we put them into authority. So there's something to do with someone in authority, in your life. For each individually, it's going to be, different. Okay. Um, what are your timeline cards are? Okay. You've got the Page of Cups. You've got the Six of Swords reversed, and you've got the Six of Pentacles. Now, with the Page of Cups, I'm feeling, as you know, what we call the court cards, which are the kings, queens, knights, and pages. They can represent actual people in our lives in readings, or they can represent energies. In this case, I feel like this is actually a person, and I feel like this has to go back, like this situation is going back to when you were younger. So I have the feeling that it's either dealing with a child now, like or a young person now, meaning like most likely under the age of 18, for sure under the age of 20. Or it could be you in the past type of a thing. And I feel like the situation is you're dealing with is difficult. The Six of Swords reversed. It's hard and difficult to move away from whatever this situation is. It seems like, it's going kind of like you're going around in circles and you're not really able to kind of get past this. Now, if this is, as I said, how would this apply if this was a boss or a supervisor? Well, the situation can go back to, if it's, you as a youth, it's going back many, many years. Or if it is dealing with a young person, in general, maybe you see yourself in them. But as I said, this is something that is going back. It's like something, if it's you as a youth, it's something that is resurfacing in you, whether consciously or unconsciously. And you are working, yourself through this type of a thing. You're working yourself through this, and what's happening with this situation is how you want to approach it is you want to approach this situation with like compassion. That's what this is telling you with the six of Pentacles. This could even be dealing with, if we're dealing with like an authority figure, um, and I forgot to mention authority figures could also be like, the law, the government, anyone in authority in our lives type of thing. But as I said, a parent. But there could be money involved in this, like inheritance. But what this is really saying though is that this is saying that the universe wants you to approach this situation with compassion, with understanding, with kind of like wisdom and understanding that, sometimes the people in our lives or the situations that we're dealing with, you know, that are difficult, and we're dealing with a difficult person or people, maybe they had really difficult times, and we have to, like have compassion for that. I guess the thing that I would, in a very simple kind of analogy would be like, let's say that you are a street vendor selling some sort of like food, and you're just trying to, make a living, and you're trying to support yourself and your family or whatever. You're making a living. And let's say some, kids come along and, like grab a bunch of food without paying for it and like run, and your initial reaction is, hey, like they're breaking the law, they're stealing from me, and it's not right. But maybe you find out that like, they're super hungry and they were bringing, food back to their younger brothers and sisters, and maybe their mother's sick. I mean, this is just a crazy example, right? But when it all of a sudden, when you're able to see it from a more compassionate state, you're able to understand more. It doesn't make what they did, right, but you're able to kind of have some compassion. The same thing is when you're dealing with a situation of, let's say there was issues you've had with your parents or with a boss or a supervisor. We've all had that. And, we don't know what life a lot of times that they led. I mean, we see this a lot of times in movies where you'll see a character where the son or daughter will have a difficult relationship with one of their parents or both their parents, and then they find out later in life like everything that the parents went through, and there's this like change and transformation. We've all seen this in like movies, and we've read it in books. That's what this is saying. It's just saying that whatever this is, and to it, see it from a more compassionate place, okay? And even if the situation is, it could be, as I said, the authority figure could be our significant other, and then you find out that like, they say or do something, and then initially, just like those children stealing from the street vendor, there's an initial reaction of anger and whatever, or disappointment, but then later, after there was more kind of like investigation, he finds out that, okay, wow, right, there's a reason why they did this. And as I said, it doesn't make it right, but you could see it from that higher kind of more giving, perspective. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Whatever this is, it's just simply asking you the first 2 weeks, try to have compassion and understanding in whatever this situation is, and no matter how difficult. And when you do that, you're going to find yourself moving forward in life. Okay, you're going to feel like you're getting unstuck in your life. Okay, now your two advice cards are, you've got the Knight of Swords, and you've got the Fool reversed. Now these are interesting cards, because the Knight is all the Knight cards are cards of movement, okay, in movement in some way, or lack thereof, which would be like the Knight of Pentacles, okay, or slow movement in that case. But the Fool card is also a card of movement. Why do I say that? Well, The Fool is embarking on a journey of life. They have their knapsack over their shoulder. They're obviously traveling. It's a card of movement, but it's reversed. And what this is doing is that the difference between the Knight is when you are able to see situations in your life from a higher perspective with more compassion and understanding, you're going to be able to move through life smoothly, swiftly, and with more purpose and clarity, as opposed to the Fool reverse, which is just like, okay, I'm embarking on life. I don't really, the Fool doesn't really fully understand what's going on. It's like a graduation. Like the Fool doesn't really know, but after the Fool embarks on his journey and goes throughout all the tarot cards, then the Fool becomes, gains more wisdom. And so it's just the two kinds of movement are telling you here that when you can see with this more compassionate side of yourself, with more understanding, more compassion, you're going to be able to move forward toward your goals quicker. Okay, so it's like it's like this universal giving to you. So yeah, I don't know what the situation is, obviously, exactly for each of you. You're going to have to decipher that. This is a rough sketch of what your North Node is going to be going through the first 2 weeks. Just remember what I said, to navigate it with understanding and compassion, and you'll do fine. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading, or if you would like your astrological chart analyzed where I could see where your timeline has been and where it's taking you in the future, there's going to be a link in the description box below for my website and get some more information for you. But with that, I'll just say thank you. Hit that like button if you could. Much appreciated. And any questions or comments, reach out to me. Would love to interact with y'all. But with that, make it a great first half of February. We're going to see you at the second half in a couple of weeks. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Capricorn and or the 10th house. This is going to be your February 2024 tarot reading for the first half of February. Okay, so the card that popped out for you is the reversed Seven of Pentacles. And what I'm thinking is there is an element that's going on the first 2 weeks of February of kind of impatience, or not wanting to kind of wait for things to develop, like an impatience of things to develop, but particularly around money and finances. For a lot of you, that could be, or if it's not money and finances, it could be tied into kind of like your goals, your greater goals of like what it is you want to do with your life, or where it is you want to go, kind of a thing. But I think for a lot of you, it is going to have to do with like, money, finances, and things of that nature. And there's this impatience regarding this. So how is this playing out? Well, your timeline cards are, you've got the Hermit reversed. You've got the Two of Pentacles. And then you've got the King of Swords reversed. What I'm seeing here is that you're being told that to come out of a period in your life, or come out of a state of kind of being hidden away, or kind of waiting for things to develop. You're being told to like kind of move forward into something that you've been thinking about doing, or whatever it is, like moving forward in that. And you're feeling, a lot of you could be feeling the pressure, as I said, either in like money or finances, the way that's playing out, or like, juggling finances. Things could be hard because the universe is trying to loosen you up, kind of like, think of the hermit. I mean, have you've all heard of hermit crabs, right? They live in the shell. Well, remember, your south node is Cancer, the crab, you know. So it's like it's time to kind of come out of your protective shell and move out into something else, like whether that be, I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to learn this, I'm going to, you know, gain another skill, I'm going to get, you know, like maybe look for another job, or do something, or start that business, but kind of becoming, walking out of this state of being like a hermit crab and moving out into the world. But the reason that there you could be feeling like the money and finance thing is, I notice with this North Node in Capricorn, or the 10th house, it a lot of times, I have some really close people in my life that have this placement, and it's like sometimes the universe, like life, makes you feel uncomfortable. It could be because, like, what we desire with this North Node, because of the South Node that you would have in Cancer or the 4th house, right? We desire like comfort, security, safety, which is not, there's nothing wrong with that, but there a lot of times you might have felt throughout your life. If you're watching this video, I guarantee you, if you have a North Node in Capricorn and or the 10th house, you have felt like at different times in your life a lot of discomfort coming from people, parents, teachers, you know, like, and you just want to like chill and not, you know, have to deal with a lot of stuff, okay? And, you know, but discomfort is a theme that keeps coming up. And so what we're talking about here is, we're talking about, you know, like money, finances, that type of a thing. Um, there could, or just our goals in general, there could be this like juggling around. Now, there could be an element here of, you know, with the King of Swords reversed, is this could lead to, and this is what you don't want to do, the pressure that you could be feeling now and for the first 2 weeks of February, possibly on, and you feel this discomfort. There could be a, oh, I'll say, a tendency to maybe think negative thoughts. Okay, so think it could hit you in a way where you start thinking negative thoughts. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to take action. So you're feeling discomfort, and what you want to do is you want to fix the problem. Now, how do you fix the problem? Okay, your advice cards are, you've got the 3 of Wands and you've got the 7 of Swords. We'll start with the 3 of Wands, okay? This is about looking out into the future and what do you want out of life? Like, your security and your comfort lie out in the future. Like, they lie out there. It's for you to go out and get. And it might seem scary to do that. Okay. So whatever it is you're planning, this could be, as I said before, your goals in your life. Like, you know, do you want to get more education? Do you want training in something? Do you want to move to a new place? Any of these things that are very bold Capricorn moves, the universe blesses you. Or do you want to, like, you know, like go for that, you know, better job, or just, you know, go for any sort of a different job. Okay. All of that stuff, this is about your future. And that's what this is all about. And the reason that, as I said, the discomfort comes is because when there's discomfort, it causes, you know, people to take action and move, you know. And so when when the hermit crab grows out of its shell, it's getting too big, it's uncomfortable. It has to abandon that shell and go out and become vulnerable and look for a new shell, a bigger shell, a better shell to accommodate them. And so that's really what's happening, is you've outgrown your shell. Okay, you've outgrown your shell and you're feeling discomfort in various aspects, you know, of your life. Now, as I said, you don't want to go into negativity. You want to take action and, you know, plan for your future. Go for that bigger shell, whatever that is for you. Now, the interesting thing is the Seven of Swords reversed is when you do this, this is about things that were taken from you mentally and emotionally returning to you. So what ends up happening is when you are able to have the courage to move out of that discomfort in that smaller shell, have the courage to go out and, you know, achieve your dreams, to go out there into the scary world and you know, do that Capricorn 10th house thing. When you do that, what ends up happening is your things that were taken from you, and we're talking about mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically, okay, can start to come back for you, like self-esteem, um, you know, better things all around start coming back, and they were taken from you not out of punishment, but just because you could have been, you know, this could have been like parents that were on you to go out and make something yourself, bosses, coaches, teachers, I mean, whatever it is, even like, you know, friends. But everyone that has this north node has been prodded throughout their life into times of discomfort. And so it's time for you to go out there and, you know, figure out what it is you really want out of life and be bold and go out there, because your comfort and security will come when you do the uncomfortable thing and the thing that's scary. When you do that, and as I said, you might want to review what it means to be Capricorn North Node or North Node in the 10th house. Just review those things, but you're being rewarded for that, okay? So, bottom line is the discomfort you're feeling, possibly with like money and finances, it's just getting you, it's prodding you out into the world, okay? And the solution is to go out there and like kind of do something about it. And when you do that, good things are going to be returned to you. Things that were parts of yourself that were lost, you know, that maybe you've forgotten about, okay? But that beautiful inner strength is going to just get stronger and stronger, okay? Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading, or if you would like your astrological chart analyzed where I look at your timeline in the past and where it's leading to in the future, there's a link in the description box below to my website. We can get you some more information. But again, thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you could, and reach out to me in the comments. Say hi or ask any questions. I love to interact with y'all. But with that, I'll say thanks again and many blessings. Okay, North Node in Aquarius and or the 11th house. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope reading for the first half of February. Okay, really interesting. So, the card that popped out is the King of Pentacles. And I want to go through some other cards before we get into this, because this will make it all relevant. So the King of Pentacles popped out. Now your timeline cards are, you've got the Sun reversed, you've got the Emperor reversed, and you've got the Star reversed. Now, starting with the timeline cards are, whenever you see the Star or the Sun in a reading, whether it be reversed or upright, it's a positive thing. But when they're reversed, they're like delayed energies. And the Star, first of all, when I see that in a reading, there is something um, magical going on in that person's life. What I mean, like magical with like synchronicities, it's like fated things, destined things, like it's like someone who is could be close to reaching their destiny, but there's like this higher spiritual divine essence in this, okay? This divine grace that's at play. But as I said, when the positive cards, there's a few different cards, like the Wheel of Fortune's another one. When they're reversed, the Star and the Sun, they are positive, but it's like a delayed energy. So you are close. I think most of you that are here have made a lot of effort in moving on your path. And even though you might be individually at different levels, I feel you're all moving toward, this greater version of yourself. Okay. And the same thing with the sun. The sun reversed is like a sunny day, but the cloud covers the sun. The sun is still there. It's just being obscured. But all it takes is for those clouds to move on, and it's always there. Okay. Now, what do I mean by that? The better version of yourself. The better version of yourself is taking your south node, which is Leo or the fifth house, okay, and you're evolving that archetype into Aquarius and the 11th house. What does that mean? That means when you think about it, I'm going to put it in terms of, let's say, kings and queens. The reason is because I have a queen and I have a king here and I have an emperor here. Okay, so we're going to take kings and queens, that archetype throughout history. When you have a king that is, and remember, we're going to talk about the south node in Leo, and your south node normally by sign and house is more of the shadow side of that sign. So there is nothing wrong with Leo or the fifth house, but when it shows up in a person's south node, it normally has the more shadow-like frequency. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is what you're evolving toward is you're evolving toward a higher version of the king, queen, or emperor or empress archetype. So we're going to take two examples, and we've seen this many times in movies. We've read about it in books. We're going to take the egotistical king or queen or emperor or empress that want to get their way. It's like my way or the highway, off with their head. You know, it's all about them, and they come first. They have, it's like this, almost like a childish, spiteful energy. Okay, so we've seen this in tons of movies. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. That would be the shadow side of Leo, because the shadow side of Leo in the fifth house is what's known as a royal complex, like someone of royalty who, has let it gone as it's gone to their head, type of a thing. Okay, as opposed to what can they evolve towards? They can evolve towards a benevolent leader. We've also seen this archetype where you have the wise king or the wise queen or emperor or empress who's benevolent, who, yes, wields power, but wields it fairly, and treats those around them and their subjects, with care and respect. And it's a different type of energy. That is what you're evolving toward. You naturally, anyone that has a south node in Leo or the fifth house, like you do, okay, has a natural air of royalty about them. And whether they know it or not, okay, there's a certain air about them, okay? And what you're doing is you're evolving that towards this higher royalness. So that's what we're talking about here for the first half of February. Is you're being given a heads up that you're gonna evolve toward this higher nature. Okay, and when you do that, the reason the star and the sun came up is this could be a real like game changer of like, it's like, especially with the star card, it's like, you pass this test, move ahead 20 paces. Okay, so it's like you can move forward on your path very quickly and in a positive way. And so how do you do this? Okay, so how it's gonna play out is your advice cards are you've got the Seven of Wands reversed, and you've got the Ace of Wands reversed. This is about two things. This is about energy, but this is also, we'll take the Seven of Wands. You could be feeling right now not very benevolent, okay? A lot of you, there could be a situation where, you are maybe dealing with something that's, a health issue, or just like a lack of energy that I'm getting with this reversed wands, Ace of Wands. Okay, so it's like this, or like the energy just seems to be down right now, and you have to kind of fight through it. You don't feel like being benevolent when you're kind of feeling like this. And then with the Seven of Wands reversed, it's like this is an energy of like maybe feeling like you're not on top of things, and like you don't really have a handle on things. And so this could be like stress or overwork or feeling like overwhelmed in some way. So it's this like 1-2 punch of like the energy down and possibly feeling kind of inundated with things. What ends up happening is when the first 2 weeks, when you're feeling like this, situations are going to flare up, and you have a choice. You have a choice that you can react, because it's easy to make a good choice when we're feeling perfect. I mean, that's easy when everything is going great and we're feeling great and things are going our way. It's easy to make the higher choice. Okay, it's not so easy when we're not feeling great. So what's going to happen is when you're feeling like this, whether you are now or whether the first 2 weeks, you're going to be caught in a vulnerable moment, possibly with your energy down, or maybe you're not having the greatest day or the greatest week. You want to react to this situation in a more benevolent way. Think about, okay, how how would a shadowy king or queen or emperor or empress react, or how would a benevolent, it doesn't mean you have to like take abuse from people or whatever. But what I'm saying is that there's a way to, maybe there's a disagreement, okay, and you're not feeling good. There's a disagreement with somebody that you have. So how are you going to react? Are you going to just insist, no, it's like my way, forget it, that's it? Or are you going to say like, okay, well, like, let's talk about it, and then like, or someone says or does something to you, how are you going to react to it? How would a wise king or queen would say, okay, and they would just contemplate, and then they would try to reason. This is what I'm talking about, this energy. But I'm excited for you, because trust me, these two cards, the sun and the star, okay, you are close to hitting that next level. I always think that we go through life and we never stop learning and going through tests. We're just like refining ourselves day by day, week by week, year by year. But I've noticed that, through my own life and then those around me and clients, you get to points where like you can get to that next level. And when you get to that next level, there are rewards there. And it doesn't mean, you stop there and plateau, because there'll be other challenges to go to higher levels. But it really feels good when you get to that next level up, and that's the term, like level up. Okay. You do that, and it really, you can feel it in your life. There's blessings that come in. Okay. And so that's what I see for you there. Just keep in mind, going through your life, the, you know, spoiled kind of bratty royal ruler, or the benevolent. Just keep those two in mind, and always try to embody that more benevolent, royal entity. Okay, and you're going to find that things will go a lot better. It's not going to be easy. We're not always feeling great. We're not always feeling on top of things. Okay, but when you do that, the rewards are there. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it and it made sense. If you have any questions, reach out to me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you would like a personal tarot reading where I analyze your astrological chart and can tell you about your timeline, where you've been and where it's going, there's going to be a link in the description box below. Click on that for more information. But with that, I'll say thank you. Make it a great month. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for the second half of February. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Pisces and or the 12th house. This is going to be your February 2024 Tarotscope reading for the first half of February. Okay, really interesting. So, the card that popped out for you is the Hierophant reversed. And before I get into the Hierophant, I do want to go into your timeline cards so we can do these together. So on your timeline cards timeline cards for you are the Judgment card reversed. You've got the Page of Wands, and you've got the Five of Swords. So what's going on here is you're being asked to, with the Hierophant, is break free from old patterns and from traditions, your traditions, also from your ways of thinking and reacting to situations, your beliefs, your philosophies of life. You're basically being asked to kind of not repeat like old patterns, okay? And the universe is trying to give you a heads up because you have the Judgment card here reversed. The Judgment card is a card of awakening. It's of coming from one state to another, like not state like Utah, okay, but like one state of being to another state of being. And it's kind of like, the best way to describe it is like all of a sudden like finding out the reason for something, like, you know, you have a certain belief and then you find out like something new, and then you are able to refine that belief. But you're waking up to something, but it's a communication that's being kind of sent to you. So you're being told to kind of awaken new parts of yourself, and you know, in this transformation. It is a card of transformation too, from, as I said, one state of being to another. And what's happening here is I feel like there is an element, like with the Five of Swords here, is there could be the first 2 weeks of February a situation that is kind of like, seems like unfair competition, or like what you would call like kind of like, I don't know, like dirty or nasty competition, or just something like someone like one-upmanship. It could be like maybe trying to downplay you, or you know, put you down in some way, or whatever. And the reason this is happening is that you're being asked to go through this and not let it affect your actual like creativity and energy. And this is kind of like something to where you're being asked to like maybe not react to a situation, whatever this is, in the same way. That's what the Hierophant is, okay? So you're breaking tradition. But what it has to do with is, it has to do with your creativity. Okay, that's what wands are. It's about, could be even something that, you know, yeah, something that just a part of you that's creative. And it's like a protection, because when this happens, you don't want it to allow it to affect you internally, but you want to like kind of protect that. It's like this seed of creativity, and you know, that is in you. You don't want to let it like steal from you that. And the Judgment card is like the wake up call to make this transformation. So what are the advice cards here, and how could this play out? So you have the Queen of Swords upright, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles. Now, this Queen of Swords is something that you're being asked to embody at this time, because she's seeing things from a more calm, rational, intellectual, as opposed to emotional aspect. Okay, so she's seeing things from a more kind of like like I said, intellectual, or even like the word I want is, you could say it like a higher mind type of a thing. And the reason for this happening is that there could have been something in the past to where you've allowed people in their reaction to you to affect you and your creativity. So it's like you've taken things that have been done to you and said to you, and then taken it in such a way where you've allowed it to affect you. And what you're being told to do is to not let that happen, to look at this, and like, it's like you've heard the saying where someone says something to another person that's not nice, and then another person will counsel that person and say, well, like, look who it's coming from. Who did it come from? Like, their opinion doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, who are they? It's only matters what you feel about yourself and your situation. So if that makes sense. But what this is you're being asked to protect that seed of creativity inside of you and not let it be affected. And that's what the Queen does. You're able to, like, coolly and calmly handle the situation. And it doesn't mean you allow people to, abuse you in any way, but it's like you're not going to react to it, or you're not going to let it affect that creativity. Now, it's playing along with this Seven of Pentacles, because this is a card of nurturing. This is nurturing something along, something, your creations. Pentacles are about physical objects, okay? You are protecting. It's like a mother, goose protecting her eggs, okay? And you are protecting your creativity, your self-esteem, all of those things. You are protecting that, and you're nurturing it. And you're going to nurture it by, yes, standing up for yourself, not letting it affect you in some way. And as I said, this is a huge test. The reason this is coming up is because a lot of you in the past have allowed what people say or do to you affect every aspect of your life. And then other people go through life, and they're just like, nah, whatever, and they don't, this is, you're being taught, they say whatever because they don't let it affect them. But this is happening because you may have let what they do, what they think, what they say, their opinions, affect you and your creativity and your life and your creations. And so you're being told to protect that. And that's what the Hierophant is, doing something different than you've done in the past, making these changes. The universe is trying to give you like a wake up call and a heads up. Now, whatever whatever is going to happen the first 2 weeks, and it could be something minor, it could be someone says, or a negative comment, or some other, like, maybe something larger. For each of you, it'll be different, but it's not gonna feel good. And what you want to do is just like handle it in a way where it's like, whatever. Either you'll know when it happens how to handle it. The way you don't want to handle it is allowing it to get under your skin and allowing it to affect you, your creativity, and all of your, creations, your inner self, your self-esteem, all of that. You want to protect and nurture that. And so that's what this is saying. And it's an important, like, training thing. I think that for a lot of you having that Virgo South Node, you've probably experienced a lot, Virgo South Node or sixth house South Node. You've had a lot of experience of being affected by other people's opinions and things they've said and done and all of that. And I mean, we're all affected to it, but you can't let it affect the belief in yourself, you know, and like as I said, your self-esteem. That's what this is. It's simply training that. But remember, the visual I want you to have is you are that mother goose that's protecting her eggs, which is her all of those things I mentioned: creativity, self-esteem, you know, all the good things that she has inside of her, and not letting it affect, you know, with these outside forces. Okay. So yeah, powerful first 2 weeks. If you have any questions, reach out to me in the comments. I'd love to clarify anything. Or if you would like a personal tarot reading, or if you would like your astrological chart analyzed, where I could look at your personal timeline, where it's been and where it's going, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. But yeah, with that, I'll say thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you could. I'd appreciate it. And we will see you in a couple of weeks for the second half of February. Many blessings.